Depression, nihilism, apathy, sickness. Society today is sick. You can see many people consuming their lives away with medias and products because of nihilism and boredom. Our lifestyles did not fully adapt to the technological advancements in these 100 last years. Comparing to the grand scheme of humanity, today's age is supposed to be the easiest to live in. Considering you are watching this video, you're probably not in some massive conflict where bombs keep falling on your head. You probably do not need to fight off bears or wild animals for survival. You probably do not need to hunt for food. I mean, I understand that working a minimum wage job is suffering today, but 300 years ago, you would probably be toiling in the fields for even less profit. You would probably be dead due to some random disease or famine also, but anyways, comparing life today and life before, life is supposed to be easy today. But why are so many people fighting nihilism and depression? Why is the mental state of the average guy out there so bad? Well, short answer is, core principles and values of society are turned upside down and manipulated so that the average guy is left confused and distracted, whilst the corrupt bureaucrats profit. Example: the thought and the push of the idea that glorifying obesity is healthy and that fat bodies are attractive. Even though attractiveness is subjective from person to person, if we collect enough data, we can kinda conclude an objective standard for an attractive body. But for the idea that obesity is healthy is just factually wrong. Think about who profits the most from that, and who pushes this idea. The fast food companies and the medical companies. Playing with death by filling your arteries and veins with fats and giving money to the medical institution to keep you alive just to consume more. This value, even though not directly, is subconsciously accepted. That was just one example of inversion of values and slave morality, and there are many more of similar examples. Today I will go through some of the things that make society sick. Divorce rates are high, extremely high. Number of sexless marriages without love and fire is huge. Finding a family unit that is strong and that has positive values is very rare today. A family unit, the core of a nation, backbone of society. The reason why men fought through wars was because of the family unit. The greatest motivator for life was family for years. But now, in this modern age, the male in the family is either absent or is completely a pushover, making the woman take the lead and deal with stressful situations, which most of them are not capable of on their own. This creates an unsafe environment for raising children, leading to many man-childs without strong principles and core values. This also leads to many daughters who would seek male appreciation through sexual and degenerate acts and behaviors, creating a hoe daughter and a loser son. Every single family should have a strong masculine figure and a strong feminine figure. If one is out of balance, you will create a generation not aligned to the natural way, further creating a sick society. Marriage today is not what it used to be like. Marriage should be a unification of two in front of God. But God is dead now. Love is dead now. Social media ruined the romance. Entering into marriage without thinking today will leave you scared, lost, and confused. You can lose pretty much everything. The average guy is not scared of being alone anymore. He's scared of stepping into a relationship where he will potentially lose everything. The corn industry, one of the most evil method of profit out there, claiming it is the form of self-expression through OnlyFans, claiming it is helping male loneliness and that sex work is real work. Lust is an incredible characteristic to exploit. The entire reason why men collect resources, fought wars, trained to become stronger and survived hard times was and still is because of the male libido. The male libido is a strong motivator. How many times have you seen someone train harder or run faster on their sprint training when a girl is nearby? Lust is a good thing to have, the lust for life, lust to conquer and to protect. Unfortunately, it is easily exploited. Expose a young child to pornographic content and see how his life trajectory will plummet. The amount of thirst traps and blatantly sexualized content out there is insane, and every single time I see a post when a woman is blatantly moving and suggesting sexual acts, dressed provocatively in front of the camera, and seeing how many people are defending her, saying she's just dancing or you are the problem for sexualizing her, is genuinely shocking to me. How a young child being exposed to that kind of content even knows what sexualizing is. You are grooming that child, and that act is defended because nobody cares about a young boy. Anyways, I genuinely find it sad that pornographic content is so available today. Just 10 seconds away from picking up your phone and typing in the 4-letter word in the search bar. Society is sick for letting this happen, for allowing online prostitution to be a method of escaping poverty. I genuinely feel sad that my first experience first sexual experience was when I was 11 years old through a screen. Think about it, the only time when you could have seen a woman's private parts were when you were intimate with that woman. It came through effort and dedication, and it could have been something much more deep, much more romantical. But now, the most romantic time you could have is with your own hand, some lotion and a subscription to some AI bot. Woman nature and male nature should have been a secret to each other, like it has always been. Both the genders should have been modest, like in the old times. That secret should have been exposed to you only when you were with that woman. But now, if you have spent some time in the manosphere, you probably know a lot about woman nature without even interacting with women. I am talking from the perspective of being a man, but it goes the opposite way. Women consuming social media, listening to other women talking about male nature. Isn't the whole point of chasing a woman and romance being that you don't know anything about the other person? The reason why you are interested in someone is because you don't know anything about them and you want to find out who they really are. And through time and modesty, you would get to know the other person, create a bond, a relationship, something that lasts a long time. But now the average man and the average woman have an over-sexualized brain, where a guy would rather beat off to pixels and a girl would cheat in an instant because that behavior is promoted and her dopamine system is fried. Sex is used to sell, manipulate and distract, reducing human connection to impulse and pleasure without depth or commitment. Religion was an anchor to try and stabilize this barbaric and animalistic human behavior. Even though we as a species aren't naturally monogamous, religion was there to stabilize this behavior and make society grow. But once again, as Nietzsche said, God is dead and we have killed him. We do not have that inner shame about over-sexualized behavior anymore. Sex is a dirty act. It is clearly meant only for the production of children, but that topic is something that most people do not want to dabble into. Have you ever had that period where you were genuinely concerned about your purpose as a human, like questioning yourself on what you stand for and what you are and what you are not? I remember when I had a wake-up moment when I was 16, when I fully sat down and started questioning myself on what am I doing and what am I supposed to be doing for the rest of my life. I remember I was not really in the right mental space and I was probably having many depressive symptoms, so that affected my overall perception of myself and reality. That depressive state made me disconnect from whatever I was doing. It made me realize that all that I was doing was just distracting myself with endless noise and media. At that time, I decided to go for walks in the nearby forest every day just to think, to separate myself from the noise of society, to remove myself from the algorithm, the ads, the narratives, to just get away from others' opinions and train of thoughts as I did not have any of my own. During my walks, I was constantly concerned with where my life trajectory was going, what do I stand for and what values do I provide and respect. These times, even though they were just walks in nature, were one of the most important moments of my life because I could truly dive deep into my own head without constant distractions, just questioning myself about stuff that normies would find cringy. Heck, I was so deep into this habit of just getting lost in the forest that I became less socially calibrated over time and I needed some time to adjust back to society. This story made me think how many people today are just distracting themselves. How many times have you picked up your phone to distract yourself when times have gotten boring? I'm telling this because I'm also no better. It is a bad habit of mine to also pick up my phone and to scroll Instagram when nothing is really happening. This made me sad, man. When I talk to older generations, they tell me that they were doing many things when they were my age, from arts and crafts to playing guitars, doing cycling, starting small shops, gardening and farming. I asked them, what do they do in between those activities? They said that their jobs and that's it. They didn't spend hours on their phone because they didn't have that. Heck, when I was 16, many kids were training some sports or some skill that they would carry throughout the entirety of their lives. I was sitting on my ass, eating them Pringles and sipping on that Fanta, saving that Pringles can for later use. Just kidding, I never really did that Pringles thing, but god dang, that must be a dopamine hit. Played video games in between, just scroll social media. Man, what a sad life. I cannot describe to you how life is much more pleasurable when you disconnect yourself from this noise, from constant media bombardment, news outlets and algorithms. I know that FOMO exists, but when you actually start doing stuff to grow as a person, you would not care about what is happening on the media. Ask yourself, with how many videos have you watched? How many kilometers you scrolled? How many of them left a permanent mark on your character? Better question, how many of them actually helped you? If the only thing you watched on YouTube and media is entertainment, entertainment, you're not missing out on anything. Fear of missing out should not bother you. Entertainment will always be here no matter what. Entertainment on media is only fun when you do not abuse it and constantly watch it. At some point it just becomes distracting noise from your purpose. Purpose you did not find because you do not have time to think. And it is okay. I am 20, soon to be 21. I also don't know my purpose, but I'm doing activities that will push me towards finding it. Training, recording videos, working, reading. Many people think that people who find their purpose are lucky. Mate, you should work on yourself bit by bit to find what your purpose is. Who has a higher chance of being lucky? A person who waits for luck to happen or a person who works every day? It is like recording videos. Luck will not strike you if you do not upload videos. The times when you are consistent in uploading and creating higher quality content are the times when the algorithm will eventually bless you, making one of your videos explode, further growing your channel. It is the same with purpose. Be there. Put yourself out there, work on yourself. One day it will just click. You would be miles ahead of people who do not work on themselves whatsoever. Maybe when you turn 26 you will find something that clicks for you, whilst your peers would only start to realize that all they are doing is working a 9-to-5 soul-sucking job. Where am I going with this? Distractions are everywhere. You can easily get yourself lost today. Overstimulation drains your life, making minute things less pleasurable. I remember I bought a kalimba a long time ago. It was sitting on the shelf for a very long time, just collecting dust because I was constantly distracting myself away from using it. And the times when I wanted to play it, I realized that I was too shit for it, so I gave up easily. Kalimba isn't even a hard instrument to play. I was just getting bored way too fast because of my mind, because it is just fried with all of this endless distracting media. I believe that the mental state of everyone would just improve if all of them knew how much impact endless overstimulation and distractions have on them. Just to add to the overstimulation and distractions, just the overall nature of social media is cancerous. Just to remind you, nobody cares about you on social media. When you think someone wants to help you, think about why they want to help you through these social medias. They do not know you in real life. They do not know who you are or what you look like or what is your life situation, unless you give them money, of course. I'm talking from the self-help side of the internet, but overall, just the idea that social media is meant to connect people, it separates you from your in real life community. If the internet did not exist, you would probably spend more time actually socializing with people and feeling much more connected to your nearby community, and not be watching YouTubers like me. YouTubers who you only know through a screen and from what we are showing to you. I need to create an entire separate video on parasocial relationships because I genuinely think that that is one of the worst things that can happen to a young child and his development throughout the years. Like just sitting, consuming high dopamine edited videos, being completely paralyzed. But yeah, moving on. Social media globalized the dating. There is a big group of you who struggle with dating just because the globalization effect of social media. Before, you were pretty much just competing for her with 3 other men in your living area. But now you are competing with every single one of them who DMs her. Not only that you're competing inside your own environment that is very close, now you're competing with an entire global environment because the internet. Yay! We are all connected. Not only that, just the fact that the average girl's attention span is fried due to them getting constant validation and attention on these medias, you will struggle to entertain her and to keep her interested. Not only that, but if your girl is doing something that is wrong, morally questionable, or just something that hurt you emotionally, good luck trying to change her because there are probably many spineless simps who would glorify and praise her for acting in such way. That is just so annoying, man. Stupid people giving stupid advice to brainless people who do not possess the ability of free thinking. How many times have you seen someone, for example, giving self-improvement advice that just seems like total bullshit, just to 3 minutes later you scroll through the comments seeing all of the NPCs just agreeing with the self-help guru without second thought. The more I think about social media, the more I think that it caused more damage than actual good. It has a good idea behind it. You can portray a picture of your life for everyone to see, you can message people, hooray, but it goes deeper than that. What started as a self-expression has become self-exploitation. The algorithm doesn't care about you and your truth, it cares about engagement, which means the loudest, most outrageous, most extreme voices rise to the top. Andrew Tate. I have to be honest, even though I have some positive criticism towards him, he helped me a lot when I was a teenager. But we have to agree, he is the extreme, he is loud. Of course he would thrive on social media because being loud and extreme creates engagement. Why is rage baiting popular on media? Because NPCs do not see that that is rage bait, so they engage. Even though in one of my videos I said that if you were to go and touch grass, you would be touching it alone because everybody is chronically online, you should still do it. Separate yourself from the noise. Consume social media with intention. Do not just blindly dive into it, just doom scrolling your time away, engaging in pointless banter. That is the reason why many of you feel tired and don't do shit, because your mind is occupied with pointless nonsense. How many of you feel tired before working out? Well, did you spend your entire freaking day sitting your ass and watching goddamn TikToks? Maybe you're religious, maybe you're not, maybe you see the Bible as truth, maybe you think it is just fairy tales. Nevertheless, for centuries we used religion as a backbone to society. Religion was there to set in ground rules for morality, people's behaviors, what is good and what is evil. And in the dark times, it was there to give people hope. Communities build strong bonds with each other through partaking in prayers and worshipping. Yes, you can call that cult behavior and apply negative images to that. But, my own personal take, the things religion did for society and culture outweighs the negative aspects of it. But now, with the rise of science, and by factually destroying many of the religious arguments, the normal guy on the streets does not feel a bond or a need to engage in religious activities. You may see that as a good thing. The average guy does not worship delusional fairy tale stories, so he may focus on the things that actually matter in life. But unfortunately, the vast majority of people still have that religious bone in their body that makes them want to worship something. Look how popular some celebrities and influencers are. Look how many people praise and worship self-improvement gurus like they are the next birth of Jesus Christ. The amount of glaze that some of these people are getting is insane. Nietzsche argued that without God, society would lose its shared moral framework, that we would drift into apathy, hopelessness and chaos. And he was right. Today, it just seems that people are jumping from one pleasure to another, a culture obsessed with pleasure but starving for meaning. The goddamn ads, man. Everywhere, just promoting endless consumerism. You generally cannot escape it anymore. When the family unit is gone, and when the individual is isolated, and when it is stripped away from any meaning, what a better way of profiting from him is by selling him stuff he doesn't need. Because what else will he do except endlessly consume slop just to fill his void in his chest? As I already said, people are jumping from one pleasure to another. One video game got boring, so you jump onto the next. One drug got boring, so you seek a different one. One category on the P site got stale, so you seek much more extreme, kinky and weird stuff. And of course, big companies do not want to stop you from ruining your mental health, because they are the ones directly profiting from you. Every single one of your insecurities and misfortunes in life can be profited from fast and effectively, alone and a virgin, buy a prostitute and pay a subscription model for an AI girlfriend. What? You actually want a real relationship with a real girl by learning how to be a better person? Being a better person is impossible. It is heavily determined by the things outside of your control. Just buy an AI girlfriend today and be happy. You will own nothing and be happy. What? You're short and ugly? Just buy this course on how to get taller and buy these products and supplements to get a sharper jawline and become an 8 out of 10 accented god. It is insane to me that all of these methods and products only help you to get your foot through the door in the terms of dating, but none of them actually talk about how to actually maintain a relationship. Why? Because when the relationship fails, you will fall back again in the same place. But now you will buy the 2.0 version of the product, giving you better chances of success. Oh, you feel like your life is boring and uninteresting and that you are powerless, isolated, ignored and misrepresented. Just download this new video game that will give you the feeling of power and excitement that you do not possess in the real life. And to access all of the features in the game, please keep giving us money. Many times I felt nihilistic and apathetic in life, and I expect to feel them again in the future. And every time I feel the pull to just shut my brain off and to consume my life away with media and noise. But many times I That feeling of apathy comes from consuming in itself. After realizing how much time I wasted just endlessly consuming slop content, of course I would feel nihilistic because the actions that I do in life define me. So every time I feel nihilistic, I just unplug myself. I do not further destroy my mental health by affirming my current feelings with the black pill algorithm that keeps showing me how life is miserable. I just go outside, look at nature, getting myself lost in the woods. The times when I feel apathy, I just start writing stuff to analyze my thoughts much more clearly, because when those times happen, your mind gets cluttered and many of your unprocessed thoughts just keep taking a toll on you. So, after saying that society is problematic and that society is very sick to its core, what can we as an individual realistically do? Well, considering that today I am inspired by Nietzsche and that I will probably be misrepresenting some of his ideas today, start striving to becoming the Ubermensch. Ubermensch creates his own meaning and his own values, rejecting the imposed morals of religion and society. He moves beyond weakness and traditional values to achieve a higher state of being. Become life-affirming, create and follow your own values. Do not subject yourself to the society's programming. Be your own man. Trust your gut. Fight nihilism and fight apathy. Become the one who is capable of saying yes to life without any resentment. Anyways, thank you for watching and see you in the next videos.